I want to thank Dr. Hurwicz for making this university a much better and brighter place. Through your groundbreaking theories, your inspiring example, your exceptional teaching and mentoring of our students, and your unflagging enthusiasm and drive to discover. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Leo Hurwicz and congratulating him on his extraordinary accomplishments.
Dr. Hurwicz, you pioneered this whole field and introduced some of the key perspectives and concepts. In particular, you suggested that economics institutions be conceived of as information systems with which agents send messages, and where the messages together determine an allocation of the available resources. In this context, you also introduced the key notion of incentive compatibility. It is an honor and a privilege to convey to you, on behalf of the Royal Swedish Academy of Science, our warmest congratulations.
Ever since I was a child, Leo always told me he was lucky, because he has a job he would do even if they didn't pay him for it. He said he gets to imagine ideal games for people to play. For an economist like Leo, things like elections or auctions or taxes are all games that people play. Like a game of Monopoly, where everyone is playing together but against each other. But that brings up a question. Ultimately, are all people only motivated by their own self-interest? Do we have to be influenced with threats and rewards to follow the rules? That's a pretty depressing, pessimistic way to look at the world, like it's all just a rat race. So Leo wondered, are there people who behave in an ethical way simply because it is in them to do so? Leo, being an optimist, thinks there are such people, and he calls them interveners. Such a person intervenes to try to right a situation simply because their ethical standards rule out corrupt behavior. It surprised me to realize that there isn't a general term for such people already, but apparently there isn't. Growing up in our family, we always had a name for someone who was painfully truthful. We just called him Dad. I remember when my mother, Evelyn, said, "I have lived with a man almost my entire adult life who knows nothing but honesty. I don't know how to react to someone who is deceitful." Many of you already know Leo as a person. You know you won't get a false compliment out of him, but any compliment you do get will be sincere. For instance, if you get the wrong answer, he will say it is a good start. If you give him something to eat and he doesn't like it, he will say it is interesting.
But I just want to thank all the individuals and the institutions that have participated. I don't mean just the meeting today, but the development of various branches of science and arts, the role that the university has played over a century, really. And I'm very grateful to have any small part in it. Thank you very much again.